The first time I took that class, I had a 12. A 12. Hola, ¿cómo están, amigos? Thought you made it to Spanish YouTube, didn't you? You didn't. You didn't. Anyways. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Before we start, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because we're dropping these bangers all the time. Actually, not really, because I only drop bangers like 3 months, every 3 months. Okay, whew. Now that that's over. Hello. Now, let's just get right into the video, okay? So today's video is going to be about basically all of the classes that I took in college that have to do with my major. So basically every science class that I've taken in college that has to do with chemistry, biochemistry, biology, because that is indeed my major still, we're gonna talk about. Well, actually, I'm gonna try to kind of give y'all a little bit about each of the classes, but you know what I'm saying, I'm not fit for that job, so we're gonna try our best. Okay, anyways, let's just get started. Okay, first class I took is general chemistry. Now, if you're in AP chemistry in high school, then you're probably gonna skip that class because general chemistry is just like the introduction, the first class. General chemistry basically is what you got taught in high school, except way faster. 3-month span, you have to learn all this stuff again, or you skip it or whatever. But 3-month span, you're gonna, however long your semester is, I guess, I don't know, is it the same everywhere? I don't know. And you're gonna be learning about equations, formulas. You're gonna learn about parts of the periodic table, the alkaline metals, alkaline earth metals, you feel me? All that stuff. You're gonna learn about trends, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that kind of stuff is basically what you're gonna learn. It's like, who paused my video? That we'll leave it, whatever, as long as it don't. Anyways, okay, so that's the kind of stuff you're gonna be learning in general chemistry 1. Just the basic stuff. You're also gonna have a lab with that. And yeah, that's general chemistry 1. If you take it in high school, you probably won't have to take it in chemistry. So, in college. So, next, general chemistry 2. General chemistry 2 is one of the classes I personally failed. Honestly, I really don't know why people want to see my advice on this stuff, because I've said it in all the other videos I've done about chemistry that I indeed cry about it. So, I don't know. I'm trying to keep it as real as possible though, because I remember when I was watching these kind of videos, not that I'm obsessed with chemistry or anything, far from it, but I did want to get a little bit, I was nervous, and I get if you're nervous too, because I was girl, I was nervous. I'm always nervous, like before school, especially with something like that, especially with my whole advisor not being very supportive. She made me really, I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna do it anyways, but I don't know. But yeah, I know that I was nervous, and I get it, like people are doing research. I'm not the best person to come do research for, but I get it. I'm trying to keep it as real as possible though. I don't want to just give y'all tips knowing dang well I ain't doing, you feel me? That's anyways. But yes, general chemistry 2 is one of the classes that I failed. I failed 3 classes, okay, and I'm gonna let y'all know which classes they were as I keep going. But yeah, general chemistry 2 basically has to do with the ice tables. If you don't know what that is, you'll learn about them. Personally, I never heard about an ice table before. Maybe you've heard about it in high school. I do not remember learning ice tables in high school at all. I would have remembered. I got like 100 A in my chemistry high school class, so I would remember this. I remember exactly what I learned in high school general chemistry, okay, or at least I remember. That class has a lab too. General chemistry 1 has a lab, general chemistry 2 has a lab. By the way, the labs, if you're failing a lecture, that does not mean that you'll fail the lab. Most of the time, in my case, all of the time, the lectures and the labs have a little bit to do with each other, but like they're not, like like I said, if you fail one, that doesn't mean you're gonna fail the other one type of situation. Kind of. At least in my opinion. Like, I failed general chemistry 2, the class, but I did not fail the lab. You feel me? You feel me? Okay, next class. By the way, these are in the order that I've taken them. So general chemistry 1, my very, very, very first semester, then so on and so forth. Okay, third, general biology 1 and the lab. I also failed this class. You know, after failing 2 classes in a row, you think I would be like, you know what, this is not my career path. I don't think that this is meant for me. But did that stop me? No, it did not. But anyways, general biology 1 obviously has to do with cells. You know, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell type stuff, except way more in depth than that. You feel me? Like, if it was mitochondria was the powerhouse of the cell, baby, I would have came out with an A. But no. So you actually really do have to put in the work. I did not. Don't be like me. Like I said, I don't know why y'all want to, you know, see these kind of videos. I don't get it. I don't understand. But anyways, okay, next, organic chemistry. You guessed it, I failed it too. So organic chemistry, I'm sure we've all heard about it. It's like one of the most popular of all these classes that everybody talks about, and being hard, it basically has to do with, you know, structures of molecules and chiral centers and stereoisomers and epimers and stuff like that. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll hear about it in organic chemistry. I failed that class too. The organic chemistry class that I took, it basically, most colleges separate organic chemistry into organic chemistry 1 and organic chemistry 2. My college, it's just 1. So if you do have one of those colleges that separate organic chemistry 1 and 2, maybe it'll be a bit easier because you have a whole semester to focus on one part of the organic chemistry class, and then you have a next semester to focus on the other part of the organic chemistry class. My organic chemistry class, or the college I went to, was just one. So that's a lot of information, you know what I'm saying? You have to learn mechanisms. If you don't know what mechanisms are, it's just basically how, you know, a reaction, just all the steps all the steps that go into making, you know, a reaction happen. That's basically the I don't want people to be in the comments like, she does not know what she's talking about. Like, I'm trying to keep it as broad as possible so I don't mess up. Anyways, next class, I took that in the summer at another college that did have it twice, and I made an A. So I don't know whether it's just I couldn't keep up with having all those, you know what I'm saying? I literally, look, I don't know why my throat is. The first time I took that class, I had a 12. A 12. And that's because he gave points for putting your name on the paper. I also didn't study that hard, so that's partially my fault, but I strongly believe that if it would have been, you know, one semester for the first half, second semester, I would have done at least a C. At least a C, because I made an A on the other time I took it. So anyways, take that as you may. Period. Okay, next class I took I don't know if I said this, but organic chemistry also has a lab, so 2 separate classes. I failed the organic chemistry lecture, but I passed the lab. Okay, next, analytical chemistry and the lab. It has a lab. So basically, analytical chemistry is you're quantifying things in a solution, basically. So you're trying to figure out how much of this is in here, or how much of that is in here, or what's in here, like that kind of stuff. And obviously, yeah, you have a lab. My lab was a real world type of lab, which basically means that most of these classes, the labs, they give you a procedure. Like, and a procedure is, if you don't know, is just basically a written out explanation of your lab, what you're gonna do, like put this much of this, or how many, what, I don't know, what's the molarity of this, or what's the concentration of this, or how much do you need to put of this to make this type of situation. They kind of give you, they walk you through that. My lab was not like that. It was just like, okay, well, here's the finished product. This is what we want you to have, so have it. Like that's just it. Like, make it work. Whatever you think you need to do to get this, do it, and boom. Like, yeah, I really didn't like the lab. I passed the lab, I passed the class. Like I said, I only failed 3 classes back to back. I mean, I don't know why I didn't like the 3rd class. Okay, the 1st class, okay, cool. I was getting used to college. That's gonna be my excuse. The 2nd class, I just, okay, you know what I'm saying, I just failed it. The 3rd class, I should have been like, okay, maybe this is not my major, but I kept on going. So those were the only 3 classes I failed. The rest of them I passed on. We'll be talking about how I basically didn't pass the other classes because I passed them. Okay. That's analytical chemistry in the lab. Next is inorganic chemistry. I don't know how to explain inorganic chemistry. It's just inorganic chemistry. I don't really remember what that was about. But anyways, that one didn't have a lab though. It was just the lecture. Next is bioorganic chemistry in the lab. Bioorganic chemistry just has to deals with the amino acids, the carbohydrates, and things like that. That's basically all the class was going over. They made us memorize all the amino acids and stuff like that. That's basically what that class was, what I remember was about. There's obviously more that goes into that, but it's just what I remember. That's what I'm saying. What I recall from the class is what I'm going to bring out. Because well, I could have done research, but why would I? Anyways, okay. Next class. Oh, bioorganic chemistry has a lab. Oh, did I say that? I might have said that. Okay, next is cell biology, which is just cell biology. Boom. Next class, biochemistry. That also has to do with the amino acids and just how things work in the body, and you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. The reactions that happen in the body and stuff like that, how the amino acids work, how all these things work, basically. Okay, cool. The next class was a elective. It was like a higher elective, or I don't remember what the technical term for that would be, but it's just basically, you know what I'm saying, like one of the upper division classes for my major, which was instrumental analysis. Okay, so this is one of the more recent classes that I took, actually. Yeah, like this semester. So instrumental analysis basically goes over all of the machines. I'm gonna call them machines, but please don't call them, or at least my instructor didn't like us calling them the machines, but the machines that help you identify compositions or help you separate things in a solution, or you know, things like that. You figure out absorbances of certain solutions or concentrations of certain solutions, like the HPLC instrumentation, just things like that. It basically is a class that it goes with analytical chemistry, because analytical chemistry, you know, like I said, is basically how much of this is in here or what components are in here. So it basically is a class that goes with that class. They're just 2 separate classes, but anyways, instrumental analysis basically goes over the instrumentation, aka machine, whatever. People get really offended, but girl, I don't, it's, tell me it's a machine, whatever, that does that. So like I said, HPLC machine, instrumentation. Maybe I'll put a picture of it. But yeah, yep. So you're just basically studying all the parts of that instrument, or how each part basically works together to give you that final result, whether that be absorbance, whether that be just whatever the end result may be. That's what that class basically helps you. It's a lot of drawing, doodlings, it's a lot of knowing what you feel like. A mechanic, you know, a mechanic, that's what you feel like, a mechanic. Great analogy, perfect analogy. A mechanic, yeah, a mechanic. Okay. All right, next is physical chemistry. And now physical chemistry, you're basically using physical properties to look at, you know, stuff in chemistry like the thermodynamics, motion, things like that. A lot of people don't like that class either. I took it online because that was one of the classes that I was taking last semester when I was doing homeschool, or not homeschool, but whenever all the pandemic stuff happened, that's one of the classes that I was taking online from that. So I don't really remember what I learned because a lot of foul things going on over here. Okay, we don't need to talk about it. Okay, these two next classes, I think that my advisor said weren't really to do with my major, but they're two science classes that I took too. So I took environmental science and I took ecology. So I don't know why he didn't say those classes had to do with my major, but I took them as a science class, so I'm including them. Okay, so yeah, those are basically all the classes that I've taken. And this semester is my last semester, and I have 1, 2, 3 classes to take left. Now, if you watched my video about why I didn't graduate on time, you know that the reason I didn't graduate on time was because one of the labs for a prior class that I took wasn't available. That's Biochemistry Lab. I took the class, passed the class, but I didn't take the lab, and I was told that I could only take it in the fall semesters. So that's why I'm in school the fall semester of this semester, because I didn't have that option for spring. So yeah, that's one of the classes I still have to take. I'm taking senior survey, which is basically accumulation of all the other classes just to keep your brain up there, you know what I'm saying, don't forget the knowledge that you learned type of class, which I could have taken this past semester, but he just was like, if we're gonna be here another semester, you might as well just like push it, so take it in this semester. So that's what I'm doing. And then one last class